And as you can see, the ducklings are doing very well. They grow so fast. I believe they are now about 4 months old. And they can already fly quite good. Let's see if they will show it. And of course it just rained, so they prefer to be in the puddles instead of their pen. Come on, ducklings! I don't think they will fly. Or maybe just a little bit. Come, ducklings! Come, come, come! Come, come, come! They don't feel like going into their pen today. Come on! Whoop! Chip, chip, chip. They're actually molting right now, so I believe they will get their adult feathers. I'm very curious how the drakes will look like, because I believe the females won't change a lot, but the drakes will. So that's this male over here, the pied one, and the other pied male. And then the wild type male over here. All the others are females, except for the grey Muscovy duck. But I don't think they will change a lot. But we'll see. I wish I had more of the blue wild types, like this one. I really like that color. And let me give you an update on the chicks inside. So we have our Red Mottled Wyandotte bantam rooster with a Wheaton, maybe Wheaton mottled, I don't know, hen from Rooster Abraham with his 2 hens. Sadly one of the hens died. It was the red mottled one. Yeah, those was not the greatest day, because I only have two very nice one and 2 lesser red mottles, and of course the most beautiful one of them all died. This might be a chick of hers, but I don't think so. I think it's from her sister. She's still alive, but she also has some diarrhea. I don't know what it is, but every time I move some chickens over here to our new garden, at least one, or almost at least one, sometimes 2 of them die. So I'm guessing over here there is another strain of viruses or bacteria that they're not used to. Sadly, you can't really do much about it. First of all, because I don't know what it is. I could have done like an autopsy, but it's a very high cost, and with previous experiences, I didn't get really a lot of information about it. so it's something I don't do anymore. But enough bad news. Here are the other chicks. I finally have, yeah, I wouldn't say decent amount of dun mottled Wyandotte bantam chicks, but I have some. I have 4 in this batch, and 2 chicks for the Red Mottled project. These are crosses with pure red Italianer bantams. I believe these are from the hens, or is it from the red rooster? Yeah, I should look into my paperwork. I have so many chicks right now. These, as you can see, are dun mottled. I am afraid they are all 4 roosters, which is something I don't need, because I already have 3 roosters now, not a single dun mottled hen. So now I have 7 roosters. Yeah, not ideal. But yeah, what can you do? Only hatch more chicks, I guess. So here is the next hatching round. From the same parents as the chicks I just showed you. But in this round I have a lot of chicks for the Red Mottled project. And they all look very promising. They had a very yellow down with almost no black. And even the stripes on their heads were, with most chicks, they were even red in color instead of black. They all look very healthy, very strong. And there is one dun mottled one. Somewhere. Yeah, over here. Here he is. So far I don't have an idea if it will become a rooster or a hen. And also for some reason these chicks are very skittish. I don't know why. I treat all my chickens the same, so quite strange. I really like this hatching round, so it's strange. But yeah, I don't know, male or female. Judging by the growth of his feathers, it's only in the wings for now. Of course, he's only a couple of days old, but he hasn't developed a tail, and his wing feathers are quite short. So I'm afraid this will be a rooster too. But yeah, we'll see. I also don't know if I'm gonna keep continuing the dun mottled Wyandotte bantam project. I might turn it into an Ancona bantam dun mottled project, because I do like the color and it's quite an easy color to breed, so why shouldn't we transfer it to the Ancona bantams, right? You can just mix them with black. You can even mix them with blue, and then you get something like a lilac color, I believe. So far I don't have really any plans for that, but maybe I'll put some black mottled hens with the dun mottled rooster. But I don't think it will be for this year, because I want to use the hens that are still in the yard of my parents. But I still need to go to quarantine period. There is also a rooster, so yeah. We need to sell another rooster first, before I can make some space for them over here in my garden. But yeah, it's a nice chick. Let's hope it turns out to be a hen. But I'm afraid it will be a rooster again. So we take a look at these chicks. You see they are very nice. But also very not tame. Very wild. As you can see, they even show some red on their backs. That's a good sign. Almost no black. They are on a wheaten base. That's also something you want if you want to breed pure red with no black in it. And the black stripe is the red, as you can see on their head. So I'm very curious how they will turn out. A very good hatch too. I believe I had 20 chicks out of 21 eggs or so. Very good. I think I finally found the, I wouldn't call it a secret, because there are already a lot of people who have good hatching results. But when you're using Cubatito incubators, like I'm doing, it's very important to raise your humidity at day 19. And how I do it is I fill like the little water compartment over here, that's completely filled, and I also fill the complete bottom. And this way you'll raise the humidity even until about 90%. And water was even dripping out of the incubator, which is not a problem because it's completely made out of plastic. But with this high of a humidity, I get very good hatching results. I also lower the temperature at the evening of day 20 to about 36.7 degrees Celsius. Yeah, I don't know out of my head how much it is in degrees Fahrenheit, but well, maybe I can show it here. Yeah, but that's not correct. So it should be, so the difference is about 1.2. So I guess it's like 98.8 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's something you can easily look up. So let me show you the chicks. It's also the first time I open the incubator, so I'm just as curious as you guys. It's not really easy to open it with one hand. We also have a very good hatch. I believe only like 3 or 4 eggs didn't hatch. So let's get them out. I have one dun mottled Wyandotte bantam chick, and all the others are for the Red Mottled project from the Yokohama bantam line. So let's get them out. One chick is still hatching. It's from the Yokohama bantam line, and of course also the Wyandotte bantam line. It's a dark one, so it's one I don't need, but we'll give it some time to further hatch. And the last 2 eggs didn't hatch. I've kenneled them and they appear to be rotten. So we have a very good hatch, as you can see. So we have one dun mottled Wyandotte bantam, and I believe 14 from the Yokohama bantam line with a wheaten base, or on a wheaten base, and 8 on a birchen base, or with a lot of melanizers, and those are the darker chicks, like this one. It will be a black mottled. This might become just a pure black, probably with some gold or red in it. Same goes for this one. This looks like a brown chick, but it might become just pure black, or even black mottled, or even blue mottled. Because I do believe that the Yokohama bantams are on a splash base. Because when I crossed them in the first generation, all the chicks were blue. I mean, not self blue or pure blue, but they all had blue in them instead of black. But the yellow chicks, I haven't got a single one. That's on a partridge base. They all appear to be on a wheaten base, so that's very good. And I have 14 in total. So that means that I'm gonna get rid of the hens, their mothers, because I'm not really a big fan of the Yokohama Bantam line so far. This is, I believe, the third generation with Yokohama blood in them, but it's the 8th generation in total. They're beautiful chickens, but they don't look like Ancona Bantams, so of course, yeah, in the first and the second generation you can't really expect that, because I'm using like a totally different breed. But the color isn't really my thing. I believe they are penciled and not mottled. So I still don't know if I have some penciled one or mottled ones. But we'll see. We'll see what will come from these chicks. They came from the rooster that looks a bit like an Australian Red Ancona Bantam, with my best 6 Yokohama Bantam hens. So we'll see how these 14 will grow out. The other ones are already reserved and will be sold. Same goes for this guy over here, or girl. Let's hope it's a girl, but you can't really tell right now, so let me put them in their cage, because I've already set it up yesterday, so the heat plate is up and running and hot. So this is their setup. This is a setup like I always use. So I use a heat plate. On top of it I have a drinker, so it's nice leveled with the height of the chicks, and a feeder. This time all these products are from Olba. It's a company in the Netherlands, but I believe they sell their products worldwide. I'll try to leave some links in the description below where you can find a heat plate, these drinkers, and the feeder. I've been using these products for years now. I'm very content with them. So now it's time to get the chicks and put them in. I often see people taking chicks and like dipping their heads in the feed or in the water, but that's actually something I don't do, because for me it's a waste of time. I'm very busy, and they will also find it eventually, because chicks are very curious, so they will start looking for feed and water immediately. Yeah, not maybe like immediately right now, because it's not the hottest day in Belgium right now, so they will probably go or stay for the complete day under the heat plate, and from time to time they might drink a bit. So it's a good thing to place your drinker on the heat plate the first couple of days, so they can find the water very easily. But the nipple itself is made from metal. I don't know if you can see it that well, but that means that it's a bit shiny. And like all birds, or almost all birds, chicks are drawn to shiny objects, and they will start pecking at it, and then they will realize, oh yeah, here's the water. And once, or as soon as one chick knows where the water is, all the others will follow. So it's not necessary to put like 100 chicks into the water. It's just a waste of time, because they will find it eventually. Not a single animal, or even a human on Earth, or maybe humans as well, but not a single animal on Earth will like deliberately starve or thirst himself to death, so shouldn't be worried about that. But what I do know, especially when it's cold outside, is put the chicks underneath the heat plate, because that's something they might not find immediately. This way they know where they should go when they are cold. That's something important, because sometimes they might have the tendency, or actually they always have the tendency to jump up because they are looking for their mother. But of course, yeah, in this situation there is no mother. But what they do is they jump up on the heat plate and they stare, and they are chirping very loud, screaming for their mother. that's something of course you don't want. To prevent that, you can also use like a plastic cover, but of course then you can't put the drinker on top. But this prevents the chicks from jumping onto the heat plate and being scared all the time because they don't find each other or their mother, because there is no mother. It's a bit dusty right now because it's in the garage with all the chicks. As you can see, chicks produce a lot of dust. But that's something you can do to prevent it. I'm not gonna do it right now because the cage is quite small, so I don't really have another place to place the drinker. So I'm just gonna put them underneath the heat plate one by one to make sure they will find it. And eventually, when they're warm enough and they've rested enough, they will start looking for the feed and the water. Completely on their own. So they're not like a human baby or even like other species of birds that you will need to feed manually. They are basically independent, starting from the first second of their life. And they are all in. And as you can see, some of them are already looking for feed. Yeah, I forgot to buy some wheat bran to put in as a litter, so I'm using flex looms. So we have to be a little bit more careful with chicks possibly getting diarrhea. So I'm gonna sprinkle some feed onto the litter or the bedding. So when they look for feed, they do find it. And not starting to eat the flex looms. But as you can see, most of them stay underneath the heat plate. Yeah, because they came from an environment of almost 37 degrees Celsius. Now they're in an environment of about, I don't know how hot it is right now, maybe like 23 degrees Celsius inside the garage, but there's no wind, so it's quite a nice temperature, at least for me, but the chicks prefer much more heat. I do like these brown chicks, like this one over here, but I know from experience they just turn out to be something black, blue, black mottled, blue mottled. So not very handy for our red mottled project. The chick over here is very red. Even in his head, his wings, his back. So I'm curious. This one almost has no markings at all. It's also positive. Or it could just be a wheaten one, which is not really interesting. We don't want to keep any wheaten ones anymore. I still have 2 wheaten models from the Italian bantam line, but those are very good, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them. If I have better offspring, I might get rid of them, but so far I'm going to keep them. So that was it for the chicks. Make sure to give a like to the video, leave a comment down below, and if you aren't subscribed yet, please consider to subscribe. There's a lot more coming. I'm also going to write a book. It should be finished by the end of the year, and it will be published somewhere in April or May, if everything goes well. But I'll give you an update on that hopefully soon. Other projects, oh yeah, there's something very interesting coming, and I'll show you a little clip that might give you a hint of what's coming up next. So stay tuned for that, enjoy the little clip, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye!